Welcome in everyone. We are going to be making Maker's Mark and texture stamps in this video. A Maker's Mark stamp is a way for potters to sign their work using a stamp. You need to make a few sketches to see what design is going to work best for you. The main thing that you want to remember though is that when you are writing your letters, they have to be written backwards in order to stamp correctly. Here are some examples of a few different types of sketches. The main thing is that you want to make sure that you are creating bubble letters so that when you impress these stamps into the clay, they show up the best. Now we're going to take a small piece of clay about the size of a ping pong ball. You're going to thin one side to make the handle. You're then going to use the handle and press the other side onto a flat surface. You want this to be even. You can form your stamp into either a square or a circle shape. Because we are currently in a remote learning environment and students are working with tools that they have at home, as a needle tool, I opened up a paper clip and taped it to one side of a pencil. This is what I'm using to carve my initials onto the surface of my stamp. I took another paper clip and taped the loop part to the top of a colored pencil. This is what I'm using as my loop tool. I'm going to take both tools and try to dig away or remove the negative space of my stamp. When I say negative space, I mean any clay that's on the surface that is not part of my design. Now this video is already sped up so that you can see the process in a little bit faster form. This process does take a while to get it correct and neat. You can also take a hairpin or a bobby pin to get into areas that this bigger loop tool cannot reach. As another helpful tool, you can grab a little bit of water in a cup and a paintbrush. This will allow you to get a lot of those rough edges nice and smooth. It'll also allow you to re-wet some of the clay that may have dried out while you are working. Because we're working at home with non-traditional clay tools, accidents sometimes happen when you're taking away some of that surface. So what you would do is take a little bit of clay, you would roll it into a small little coil, and then just add it back onto your design. One thing though you do want to remember is that anytime you're adding clay onto the surface, you want to add a little bit of water to make sure that that bond is very secure. Now it's time to add all of your details to make sure that all of your designs are nice, clean, and crisp. So if carving your stamp did not work for you, you can start the process over by making another handle, making sure that your surface is flat, but this time you would roll out small little coils and actually create your design from those coils and slip and score them onto the surface. And these are the two ways that you can make your Maker's Mark stamps. Now I'm going to show you how to make texture designs by both indenting and adding raised texture. The indented stamp is created by using found objects and pressing them into the clay. I'm going to show you how to add the spiral onto a raised design texture first, similar to the one next to the sketch. I'm going to add a little bit of score marks, roll out a very thin coil, and then attach that coil onto that flat surface. As I said before, you want to make sure that whenever you're adding clay onto a surface that you're bonding it with a little bit of water. This will make sure that your design becomes part of the stamp. So here is how you can either use your Maker's Mark stamp as your signature, or you can use your stamp as a design. It's always best to hold the inside of your pot so that you get a nice clean stamp. And there you go. Let me know if you have any questions.